Hey guys, in the past week I've been putting my clicking skills and Gaben bank supporting skills to the test. So we hit level 420 on Steam. Actually have been debating whether to go higher in the Steam levels and go after like Palm Desert and all those guys. But for now, I think I'm just gonna sit at level 420 because I think it's a pretty cool Steam level to be at. And I also been playing quite a bit of solo queue matchmaking, and I somehow got placed in a game with four-man queue who are like all unranked and novas. So I deranked on that one, and then the new ranking system came out, and I played some more matchmaking, and I deranked some more. So now we're back to LE, and somehow, even though I probably watch more pro CSGO matches this year than any other person on the planet, I still aim like I'm Nova. And I didn't watch a single full match of League of Legends, but I've been playing quite a bit of it in the last week in some challenger games. So I'm back to Diamond 4, the Diamond 4 life, which is still, pretty bad. But I'm going to give my thoughts for CSGO going into 2016 because I see a lot of people giving their predictions. So we got to give some of our thoughts and predictions going into 2016. So my first prediction is that most of the tier 2 teams will be closer in skill in term to the tier 1 teams. As more money comes into CSGO, like the tier 2 teams will also be able to spend more time in the game. If you look at early 2015 and 2014, Liquid used to have like 2% and 5% versus Navi, and now they have like 10% and 25%. Cloud9 would have like 8% versus Envious, and CLG would have like 7% or something earlier this year against Fnatic. Teams like G2 and Mouseboard had like 12% or 13% in the BO1 versus tier 1 teams earlier this year. So pretty much you have seen improvement from like all the tier 2 teams. And I think like next year will be the rise of most of the tier 2 teams. I don't think any of the tier 2 teams will be able to break top 5, but I do think the top tier 2 teams will have at least like 20% to 40% at worst by the end of the year. Alright, so there's been a lot of speculation about Nuke coming back. Honestly, I think that if Nuke does come back, the best team will be TQM/TSM. Honestly, I think they're going to join Optic, since if you check like their Twitters, they all followed Optic, and then they followed Secret and FaZe right after, because I think they didn't want to make it too obvious, but most likely they're going to join Optic or something. But if Nuke does come back into the competitive map pool, I honestly think that TSM will be like a solid number 1 or 2, because at the moment TSM map pools, like their weak maps are really weak and their good maps are really good. So their good maps are what? Like it's Overpass List 2. They have a decent Inferno Mirage and Train depending on who they play against. Honestly, even if Nuke doesn't come back, I want to say that TSM will win at least like one major this year. But knowing like TSM/QM, they're probably going to be like 14-8 up on like the last map of a major, and then they lose 14-16 just because. But hopefully Nuke comes back instead of like Cash or Cobble, and then TSM will definitely be like number 1 or number 2. So going into 2015, my thoughts on NA and iBuyPower, like it's Valve, so you never know what they're gonna do to iBuyPower. They could never get unbanned. They might get unbanned like literally tomorrow. Like Valve is like, they do whatever the fuck they want. It's kind of sad like that 4 of the top probably 10 best NA players are currently banned: Steel, Dag, Sways, and AZK. So I honestly don't think that NA is going to win a major next year. I don't think 2016 is the year of NA. Maybe 2017, but probably not 2016. But although I do think NA is going to improve, they're finally going to get out of fucking major groups. They have never made out of groups. iBuyPower got close, and then they fucking choked. They're up 13-2. 3 rounds away, up fucking like what, 11 rounds. Like they would have gotten out of groups, but then iBuyPower lost Penta somehow 14-16 or 13-16, something like that. So they never made out of groups. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure on that. So NA, I don't have like too high hopes for them. They might be like the best team in NA might have like rank probably 7. I don't think any NA team will break top 7. Obviously, Luminosity doesn't count as, I don't know if obviously, but I'm assuming Luminosity doesn't count as NA and all that. But it's kind of sad that NA's like real hope is a Brazilian team. If you guys been on Reddit a lot lately, a lot of Asian orgs have been looking to get into CSGO. Not really sure if they want to pick up Asian teams or not, because that is really limited, like on who they can pick up. But if CSGO gets big in Asia, CSGO will be massive as fuck and probably be able to like compete with League of Legends. That's like the #1 esports game. But I don't think any Asian teams will be good enough to in 2016 to compete with the NA and EU teams. But maybe in 2017, some of these teams will be good enough. But yeah, hopefully 2016 is going to be the year for CSGO to finally beat League of Legends in numbers. Honestly, like I'm pretty sure Valve, like the money they make off CSGO is probably really more than how much Riot makes off like League of Legends. Because you look at the current player base, even though League is probably a lot higher, like the average person that plays CSGO like spends so much more money compared to the average person on League of Legends. But yeah, those are just my thoughts for going into next year, and see you guys next year.